Alright, so there's not a lot of b-boys in this room. B-boys just have a different mentality, I guess, from studio dancers. We're very competitive. So growing up, that was basically what we were always on a mission to do. To battle anyone, to battle everyone. So since '95, that's all I was doing with Full Force, was traveling to all the big competitions. We were fortunate enough to live in Las Vegas, where a lot of the big competitions in America were held in California, Southern California. So big events like Freestyle Session, B-Boy Summit, these were like Radiotron, these were events that were famous worldwide. But it was just, you know, hop, skip, and a jump away from Vegas. So we would drive out there in the 90s and compete. We would never win, but as a B-boy, that's how you pay your dues. You battle, you win, you lose, but you earn a name for yourself. People start recognizing you. And this is like pre-YouTube era, you know? So this, whoa.
It's the mic's fault.
Just turn it off. Just turn it off.
Wake up!
So one specific event I can remember is this big event called Radiotron, and me and my brother, we went out there back in 1996. I was, I think, 12 years old, and I went out there with B-Boy Ivan. B-Boy Ivan, he's like, for those of you guys that know, he's an icon, he's an urban action figure. He was from Vegas, so it was cool being around a lot of pioneers and a lot of legends at that time. So 1996, went out to Radiotron, got to meet a lot of pioneers that are still legends today, and that actually, you know, live in Vegas. Some of them actually live here in Las Vegas. So this is in '96. So since then, I've been inspired to just want to become on that level. So I started entering competitions with Full Force. Eventually, you know, people started getting unmotivated and not wanting to battle. So I just pushed myself to just still keep competing. Competed with Cr3w. Eventually, everyone started doing their own thing. So because I started getting recognition nationally, I started competing with the West Coast. So there would be like a West Coast All-Star team versus the East Coast. So I was traveling nationally, and people started noticing me individually. So I started getting invited overseas to start battling with the USA team. So I went from crew to Cr3w to national representative to an international representative representing USA, and eventually that's when I ended up earning my own name, where people would just fly me out internationally to do exhibition battles. So back then, before the one-on-one battle was big, it was just about an exhibition. An exhibition, there's no winner, no loser. It's just you battle, and you know, it's just for entertainment. So my first big battle was in 2003 against, he was known to be one of the famous best b-boys in France, and his name was Benji. Yeah. So at that time, 2003, I was nobody, or I felt like I was nobody. So I remember getting called, and it was a dude with a French accent, and he was asking if I was, you know, open to battling B-Boy Benji. And I thought it was one of our friends. I thought it was a prank call. So I was like, there's no way I could be on this dude's level. But it wasn't a prank call. It was December of 2003. I got flown out to battle Benji. I was there, did the exhibition battle. And it ended up being a turning point in my b-boy career, because I felt like I got lucky, you know, because he ended up knocking himself out on the floor doing a move, and then I went out and his whole, see, the battle was in Paris and he's from Paris, so automatically I already thought that, you know, he had the advantage and the upper hand. But if you guys ever get a chance to watch this battle, it was crazy because the crowd ended up roaring for me, and I'm American, and for those of you that don't know, French people don't like Americans, you know? So I was really, it was a pleasant surprise that the crowd was giving me a lot of love in his hometown. I ended up beating him, and like I said, 2003 was like the turning point. So fast forward, 2004 is when Red Bull BC1 first started. I was there for the very first year, 11 years ago, and this was when b-boying started kind of taking its mainstream exposure because of Red Bull, and I was fortunate enough to be at the right place at the right time. The first year I won second place, second year third, and then second again, and finally 4 years later I got the belt. I got first place, you know, and yeah, it was huge for me. I won it in Cape Town, South Africa, So, and since then, it's been great, you know, because when I'm not home performing with Super Walkies, and when I'm not doing shows with Super Crew or battling with Full Force or teaching at a district, traveling with Red Bull, you know, either judging, teaching around the world, and doing a lot of discussion panels like this. So it's cool to actually come back to Vegas and do this in my hometown, because I don't think I've ever done anything like this in my own city, especially with the general public. Normally, if we do something like this, it would be in front of a B-boy crowd that kind of have an idea of our history or what we do. But a lot of you guys are probably, you know, you guys probably don't know who I am, and you guys probably don't know anything about the B-boy scene or the people I'm talking about. But this is strong, you know, everything that we've been doing. And I respect Arturo a lot, because he hosts a lot of our events. And what I like is that for him to be living here for 6 years, he probably knows more about the scene than I do, which is crazy. He knows every dancer. He knows, this is my first time at this studio, and I'm like, wow, man, this is amazing, you know. So he's really following the scene, and he's really preserving what we have here. And I think it's important for all of us to always support one another. So yeah, hopefully that